the public transport system in my country has a lot of changes to do to make it sustainable, to make it good, to make it safe.
We need to regulate, we need to develop the urban system, and then we'll have sanity.
If you look at Kampala, capital city, it's so congested.
It's changing for the better because back then there was no organizations, just like we used to do things the way we felt like.
There's been an event on air quality in Africa, and air quality in Africa is going to be a big issue. So we also need to clean up our fuels and our vehicles. Some of our vehicles really are belching out smoke.
There was a study that we supported. The University of Nairobi just finalized a study that actually costs economic loss from vehicle emissions in Kenya alone at $1.3 million per year. A lot of the respiratory problems you're seeing, if you look at Kenya now, asthma is on the increase, and that's mainly because of transport emissions. Heart diseases, lung cancer. If you recall, in 2013, the World Health Organization actually linked lung cancer to diesel emissions. And it's a big challenge, even bigger than the tobacco health impacts.
Be it east, west, south, north, they experience exactly the same challenges. And we also find when it comes to introduction of sustainable, efficient, affordable, low-carbon transport, Africa's behind. So we thought it was high time to have an African approach to moving the African continent to more sustainable, more low carbon and affordable and quality transport. And that's why a number of us came together and said, let's set up a forum for Africa where countries can come together, discuss what the key challenges are, and have a joint action plan.
There are a lot of dirty fuels. We've succeeded quite a bit, especially through UNEP's partnership in clean fuels and vehicles, to remove lead from petrol across Africa. We've done very good across the world, in fact, on that, but very good in Africa. The next attack is really to reduce the amount of sulfur in diesel fuels, which is really continuing to pollute our air, contributes to climate change and other things like this. And through trying to lower the sulfur content that is in the diesel fuels, we're able to produce cleaner fuels, which produces cleaner exhaust, if you can call exhaust clean at all.
Outside the European region, East Africa is the first sub-region to adapt as a sub-region such kind of fuel quality. If you look at the fuel quality, for a long time, the sulfur level in diesel for Kenya was 10,000 parts per million. In Europe, it's 10 parts per million. The good news is that through working with the government and various stakeholders like the oil industry, at the end of this year, East Africa will be moving to lower sulfur fuels.
Cars in Nairobi is increasing rapidly, so we really have a very short window of opportunity. If you don't do it now, you think there's a lot of traffic jams in Kenya? Well, see in 5 or 10 years it will be double.
Share the Road is actually promoting investment in walking and cycling. The objective is actually to improve health, to have space for everybody. All road users should have space, not just cars. Mass transit, as you know, will move people, more people, no traffic jams, and that has been the model, especially in Latin America, Asia. We are even seeing that in Africa. Actually, almost all African countries with big cities are actually planning for mass transit. As you know, already South Africa is implementing, Lagos is already implementing. Within East Africa, we're also planning for the same, and Kenya, they even have, will be starting pilots very soon.
When road improvements are made, and Kenya, I have to say, is doing a fantastic job right now of improving the road system, but while they're doing that, they have to build in the opportunity for public transport, light rail, bus rapid transit, whatever.
We want them to lobby their representatives, political representatives, to encourage the government to bring in infrastructure for non-motorized transit, and infrastructure for mass rapid transit.
And that's what we really need to do, is make public transportation affordable. We need to make it convenient, and we need to make it a safe environment that people want to use it. Well, one of the things, particularly in cities, is bus rapid transit. Opportunities where you have, this is again a dedicated bus line, but systems that are very fast and efficient. Efficiency is key to move people from point A to point B in a very again, convenient way for people. Other things that can be used and can be employed are are small light rail systems. So you're using, especially if they're electric, where you dedicate an area perhaps in the middle of the road to a light rail, so people can move those things very quickly too. It's similar to a bus rapid transit, but in a rail system.
Why do we build a Tika highway with 8 lanes and there's not 1 lane for a bus rapid transit system? If you're going to have a mass transit system, it's nice, but people need to get to the station. Women need to be able to walk or cycle to the station safely without feeling harassed. Children need to be able to walk and get to the station. So a mass transit system is not only here's the road and there's the bus, it's also a matter of how can people get there efficiently so they can get quickly on the train or the bus and get into town and out again. And we're working with the government, and the government has taken a lot of initiative already. We're working with the Kenyan Urban Roads Authorities, and we're now having a program saying every road in every city in Kenya, when they build it or when they upgrade it, it should have walking and cycling facilities. And maybe you've seen there's actually walking and cycling facilities being created in Kenya.
Everybody walks, even if it's walking to your car. Everybody walks, so everybody needs good pedestrian infrastructure.
Dedicated bicycle lines are extremely important for any city, to have bicyclists feel safe, to have them feel healthy, that they're doing something healthy already. You don't want them to be sucking in all those fumes as well. More and more people are looking to that because they realize the very things that I've mentioned in terms of safety, health, lowering congestion and getting people to work on time. That's really what they want to do. And if we can create that opportunity for people, they will use it for sure.
In October this year, on the 28th to 30th October, we're working together with the World Bank and UN Habitat to organize a workshop or a meeting that will be hosted by the government of Kenya. It will bring all the 54 African countries here to Nairobi to discuss or to develop an action plan on transport.
Yeah, I would like to see a cleaner environment, a more sustainable transportation system, a system where people drive more in public buses, use less cars, walk a lot, and use bicycles.
If you go to Amsterdam, there's a lot of way for walking and cycling and light rail and buses, etc. Obviously, we're not there in Africa. Having said that, we don't need to go through lengthy lessons to get there. We can jump. We can jump a number of phases. We can introduce electric vehicles in Africa tomorrow. We already have a population walking and cycling 50%. Let's try and keep that. So what I'm saying is we don't need 20 or 40 years to get to the same level. We can jump and leapfrog and introduce some of that right now.
I want to welcome all our guests on October 28th to the 30th to the Africa Sustainable Transport Forum, a high-level policy meeting with a ministerial segment. The Kenyan government is proud to be sponsored a host of this meeting, and we are looking forward to Africa coming together to discuss a critical challenge that is part of really an opportunity, a historic opportunity that Africa has. Nairobi serves as a showcase both of the promise and the challenge of African urbanization, and so we're very happy to be having this meeting here. We welcome you and we look forward to hearing your views. Thank you.